Hey guys, thanks for viewing my video. I thought I'd need to make a video about how I increase my own testosterone level naturally. Um, Basically because there's so many guys my age and even quite a bit younger that seem to be really concerned about their testosterone levels. And even a lot of guys on the chat and stuff like that on Facebook seem to be recommending basically steroids, trenbolone, and testosterone replacement therapy. I'd just like to counterweight that by giving my story. And I didn't use any medication or testosterone replacement. It was definitely not steroids. Basically, just health and lifestyle, plus a couple of herbal supplements, which I don't name in this one, but I will maybe in a later one if people are interested in the whole thing. I'm not selling anything. I'm not a doctor, not a health professional, and I'm not going to annoy you with personal trainer things like that afterwards. Sorry, personal trainers. But anyway, I hope you enjoy my extremely high production value video. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the story of testosterone and you. I'm talking to guys here. And this is the general view of testosterone that's out there. Basically, you at 20, you're super high testosterone, and then as you age, it just falls off a cliff. Especially, look at those numbers between 35 and 40 and 50 and 55, massive reductions. And you're going to end up being low testosterone, and there's basically nothing you can do about it. Yeah, so basically after 18 or 20, everything that makes you a man inevitably declines steadily until you wither away and die. That's not a very pleasant story, is it? No. So I'm here to tell you that this is not inevitable and that you can change the story. You don't need to resort to any medications or drugs or anything. Maybe some people do. Maybe some people have some sort of issue, but most guys, I think they can just follow what I did, and I'll show you what I did. So I've marked my own serum testosterone level. I'll try not to read off the slides too much. This is from April 2023, so I would say that I have a relatively high level of testosterone now, but that wasn't the case even recently. So I'm actually 43 now, but I made this presentation back in May. It's taken me this long to get around to it. So my testosterone levels were likely average or even below average in 2020 or 2022, especially when I had a fertility scare. I'm not going to go into that one. So the average for a 42-year-old male is about 400 to 410 nanograms per deciliter. This is based off a study of 1,468 men. Yeah, it's approximately. There's also another study that I'll show later. It's over 10,000 men. The average at 42 is about 375. But hey, let's use 400. So if this is true, I've been able to raise my T levels by over 350 points, or basically by 90%. Where's the proof? Well, unfortunately, I didn't take a test before I started on the journey, but I did take one afterwards. So from a study of actual testosterone levels in over 10,100 men, it's not the same as the other graphic. It doesn't fall off a cliff in the same way. So you can see it sort of peaks at 18, 19 to 22, and it does reduce over the next sort of 30 years, and then it basically levels off and even increases past like 68, 70, something like that. So I didn't expect to see this, knowing, well, based on what I'd seen from other graphics. The variability of testosterone results starts to increase with increased age, but the average stays pretty much level. There we go. So it's about 13, and because it's different units, to convert to nanograms per deciliter, I have to multiply it by 28.85, and that comes out at about 375. And then I'm up there. Yay. So this is my lab test results. I've de-identified it somewhat. So because it comes out in these units, 26.3 nmol per liter is equivalent to 758, and the reference range is 251 to 836. Yeah, I ordered it myself. It wasn't referred, and I did it at 9:14 a.m. They needed to be done before 10 a.m. and apparently 8 is when your 8 a.m.s. For most people who are probably not on the night shift, it's when your daily maximum happens. So this is an above average reading for a 20-year-old, and I was 42 then. I'm 43 now. Yeah, how do I feel? Very good. Thank you very much. I'm objectively fitter and stronger than I've ever been. Quite a surprise to myself. So, and I'm able to rely heavily on my ability to recover from exercise and recover very quickly. So I ran 54 kilometers, not very fast, but in a day in mid-April 2023. That was my first ever run over. My maximum was 17 kilometers before then. So it was my first attempt at a sort of ultra. So I took the next day off running, fair enough, eh? But I still went to the gym as normal, did my pull day, and then day +2 afterwards, went to the gym, did leg day. Didn't have too many issues. I did reduce the weight a little bit, and I still went for a run in the afternoon. Didn't feel great, but I still got through 8 kilometers. Day 3, still went to the gym in the morning and did a 17-kilometer run in the afternoon, which basically was almost exactly my previous personal best for 17 kilometers. So that surprised me. I was recovered from a distance I'd never even ran before. Was even close to running after 3 days. That's pretty quick recovery. So my gym progress has sped up. Almost no delayed onset muscle soreness. That's the soreness you get like the day after or even 2 days after. Have increased the strength. Well, that's quite an impressive increase, but I really wasn't doing leg press that much before then, so I'd say those can be called sort of newbie gains. You know, the gains you get when you sort of start a new sort of exercise. And single arm machine rows 50 to 80 kilos. And it's a machine, so with machines you never really know if the weight is accurate. But I could easily do the highest weight dumbbell we have is 60 kilos, and I could do rows with those, no problem. Yeah, did 14 gym days in a row without any reduction in intensity. I try to keep it pretty high normally. I'm not recommending it, but I just felt like feeling like going, and didn't feel that fatigued. So that's definitely a change in my life. So, yeah, show me the money. How did I attempt to increase testosterone? It wasn't yoga. Maybe it works. I'm not sure. I'm not knocking all of these things. Some of them I am. Special drinks. No, I didn't even watch this video. Prescriptions. No. TRT. Yeah, I believe it reduces your body's ability to naturally produce your own testosterone. So I'm not sure how long that lasts, but for at least a period, you're going to be somewhat dependent on external testosterone, which I don't like the sound of that. Avoiding using plastics containers. No, there are some ingredients or compounds used in plastic containers that can reduce your testosterone, but I didn't completely cut out all plastics. Quitting all dairy products. No. Yeah. There's actually split opinion on this. So this is a video. Hamza said he increased his testosterone level simply through visualization, and he didn't show his results, so we'll just have to take his word for it. Eating raw onions, no, I didn't do that. Steroids, no, it's illegal. I wouldn't know where to get it. I can't really take it with my work, and in my opinion, it's not consistent with general health. You've got a few guys who are sort of having short lives, very, very fit guys as well. So supplements, yes and no. So in the early days, it was just zinc and vitamins. After March 2023, I've incorporated 2 herbal pills that I'm taking. They were backed by proper peer-reviewed research to increase testosterone. So otherwise, I probably wouldn't have taken them. But it did surprise me how quickly they showed a result. Also, by watching videos from people that I thought were credible sources, mostly with doctor before their name, and reading studies online and then choosing which parts that worked for me. So videos like this, steak and eggs to boost testosterone. I just had steak and eggs. Maybe I have it once a week. Yeah, this is a great one-stop shop video, so I chose it. I went through it in this video, so it tells you it tells you can seriously affect your testosterone levels yourself just through lifestyle and diet. Tells you what to do more of, as well as on the other side, things to avoid. So I didn't use every single part of the advice in the video. Some were too expensive, not relevant, not available, but the majority was affordable, relevant, and available. So I thought every small move away from things that damaged my T levels, and every small move towards things that enhanced them, actually delivered a small but noticeable result over time. You don't notice them immediately. They became encouraging. It was like small goals achieved sort of created this sort of snowball rolling down a hillside sort of effect. Yeah, small moves gain momentum and positive feedback loop strengthen. Yeah. So this is just a screenshot from his video. So steak and eggs, yes, I do that, especially just not in normal everyday life. Just go for high protein, not so controlling about fat levels. And I'm not eating a keto diet or anything like that, but I'm just aiming for high protein without too much fat, but not worried about it too much. You do need some. What I've seen online is you do need some fat to generate hormones. So zinc, vitamin D, if you're supplementing or you're getting it from your diet. I'm also heading outside whenever I can to get some sun on myself. I've been sitting outside in the middle of winter at lunchtimes, things like that, if the sun's even a little bit showing, just to get that vitamin D. Exercise, I tripled down on this one, which not everyone will be able to do or are capable. Everyone's got different health levels to start off with, and I have family commitments, work commitments and stuff. I freed myself up so I could do 2.5 hours of fitness a day, pretty much 6 days a week. Yeah, I'll get into that. Zinc, no, I didn't get any oysters. Didn't really buy me pistachios, but yeah, red meat. Didn't bother with asparagus. I don't know, out of season, I guess. Dopamine. He's talking about basically fueling up your dopamine system is your body's like internal reward mechanism. So when you achieve a goal or you progress towards achieving that goal, you get little releases of dopamine, which tell you you're on the right path. So if you eat dark chocolate or you eat a lot of tyrosine, which is a building block of dopamine. It's not going to make your body release more dopamine, but it's just going to fuel up your dopamine system, so when you do achieve something, it doesn't reach into its dopamine bag and find it empty, that sort of thing. You're not going to, you know what I mean. Yeah, so I had a tendency to overeat dark chocolate, not just one square or two, you're supposed to have. I ended up eating the whole thing. So I got it through protein powders, or twice a day I have a tablespoon as well of cocoa powder. Yeah, it's available in soybeans as well, but as you can see later on, I cut out soybeans. Okay, what's next? Okay, yeah, truffles, obviously, they're very expensive. Saffron, I think that's the most expensive by weight food ingredient there is. Yeah, so I didn't go down that track. This is a really big one, sugar and refined carbs. They increase your insulin resistance, and I'm not quite sure of the mechanism, but it does damage your ability to produce testosterone. So anything with added sugar, I cut out. High sugar energy drinks, cut that out. Snacking on sugary things. If there was a sugar replacement that I could have, I would use it. If not, I just wouldn't have any sweetener. Yeah, statins, not relevant in my case. Stress. I had to take some pretty massive steps to reduce stress in my life. Poor sleep. I did a few steps, which I'll talk about for myself. I'm still working on it, but for me, I had sleep apnea, so I had to get a CPAP pressure airway device. MSG is not good for testosterone. So you got to read the labels. Apparently canned soup has a lot. For me, I ate a lot of nachos, so I was quite surprised to see that it's a source of testosterone destroying monosodium glutamate. So sorry, nachos, you have to go. Unless you don't have any of that, then maybe have some nachos without monosodium glutamate. Soy, I try and minimize or avoid soy as much as possible. I was eating quite a lot of microwave popcorn, not anymore. Being fat, there's a mechanism in the fat cell that actually converts testosterone to estrogen, which is really not good, in my opinion, and it's not helpful towards weight loss or muscle gain. So, watching this video, I decided I had to lose weight. Aspartame, so that's a artificial sweetener. So I started to check my sugar-free drinks and sweeteners. If it didn't have aspartame, then I'd use it. Plastic bottles, things like that. I did reduce, but I didn't eliminate completely use of plastics with food and drink. Also, testosterone and human growth hormone are closely linked. So I decided I needed both, So testosterone, dopamine, and human growth hormone need that as well. So human growth hormone helps me to burn fat and build muscle. Building muscle also helps me to burn more fat, so that's great. It helps me to manage blood sugar and metabolism, stimulates my immune system. A little bit relevant to the last 3 years. Enhance cognitive ability, who doesn't need that, and sleep. More sleep helps testosterone levels. Seemed like it's my new best friend. So how do I get more human growth hormone? Intermittent fasting was the way I found to go for it. It would also help me reduce calories, the time I'm not eating, snacking. It's not less calories in, a little bit more control on my intake of food. Also help get rid of insulin resistance, reduce or eliminate fatty liver, and be healthier and recover quicker. So if I was able to recover quicker, then I could exercise more and build more testosterone. So I don't push intermittent fasting too much. I'll just talk briefly about what I do. So normal gym day, I'll get up, just because my work starts at 7, I get up at 5 a.m. and I'll have a black coffee. I don't have any milk, I don't have any sugar, nothing before my first meal. So black coffee, water, and so like maybe a sugar-free energy drink that doesn't have aspartame would be my go-tos. And then at 10 a.m., 10:30 or 11, something around there, I'll have my first meal. Like it's normally high-protein oats, so oats soaked overnight with added protein and some fruit and yogurt. And then lunch shortly thereafter, maybe in 2 or 3 hours. And then dinner, all aimed at getting more protein. And I'll have my dinner normally about 7, and then that's it, and a dessert, which is pretty much the same as my breakfast. But then I cut off calories, so it's just a window for eating. There's other guys that recommend having much shorter eating windows, or having 1 or even just 2 meals a day. I haven't gone that far. I'm not that hungry in the morning. I got used to it in a couple of days. Anyway, that's what I do. So the breakthrough moment for me was when I realized that both my testosterone and human growth hormone levels are able to be affected in a meaningful way by lifestyle, diet, and supplementation. And I didn't need to even consider drugs or pharmaceuticals. I realized that there was no magic pill, and this was going to require hard work, sweat, and discipline. And I'm really, really glad that I did. So I just had a chat with a guy through one of our Facebook groups I'm a member of, and he's looking for. He described it as a one dose and finished sort of pill that's going to raise his testosterone level from 350 to 1,000. And I said, I really don't think such a pill exists, and if it does, please let me know about it. But also, you don't want to use pharmaceuticals and stuff. You're probably going to be dependent. There's no such thing as a one and done. It's probably going to be something you have to keep taking anyway. So I decided that I could raise my testosterone, and I can do it, and I really should do it. So I could see that it would clearly make my life better and healthier, and I didn't really see a downside. As long as I didn't go too far with it, get too extreme, I didn't see a downside. So the most important ingredient for me was just to start. You got to start somewhere. You don't know everything yet. You don't have all the skills. You just got to start. So I knew I had to form new habits, build and reinforce neural pathways, learn to harness human growth hormone, dopamine, and testosterone to reach my goals. That doesn't happen overnight. I don't think it really looks good, but and my arms quite vascular. Like you can see the veins in my arms, which I don't think looks great, but it's a sign of achievement for me. I do appreciate the hard work that's gone into it, and that doesn't happen overnight. It's sort of hard cardio over months. And you don't see it until one day you just go, oh, someone points it out or something. I knew I didn't know everything yet that I would need to know, but you got to start somewhere. So I just started. So if I could just remove some of the obstacles, as well as making my life easier, building some healthy habits, the benefits would come eventually, and that I would stick in there. So, and what I found was that as I continued to work, I found that I reached a point where it was simpler to continue on the path. than to turn back. So it was simpler to continue exercising, doing resistance, doing cardio, than it was to stop. Yeah. And you'd be surprised, it only take like a couple months, 2, 3, 4 months, Influences, Ziz, yeah, Rip, my brother, rest in peace. David Goggins, The Machine. He's all about putting yourself in uncomfortable circumstances to sort of push back your mind's tendency to want to take the easy path. Yeah. Jordan Peterson, not everyone's favorite, but he's a very well-renowned psychologist, and I do like this quote. Jocko Willink. Now, does this look like a man you'd like to disappoint? Ex-Special Forces guy. He does smile sometimes, but he's awesome. He's up every morning, 4 a.m. getting after it. So, yeah, we could all learn from him. Reject Modernity, Embrace Masculinity videos. I used to watch them a lot more, not so much these days, but they really gave me just that little push out the door sometimes when I needed a bit of motivation, before I was relying on other things like, like dedication, just the routineness of it, habit. I needed some motivation. Also, members of my family who are battling, battling cancer. They're not giving in. They're staying positive. They've always been outstanding in the area of fitness in their lives, and they're still very encouraging of other family members' health and fitness journey. Also, Brentley G. He's awesome. Look at him. He's just appreciating the fact he can lift his leg. Yeah, check him out. He's great. Targeted areas. Exercising for increased testosterone. So I wanted to have a high intensity level. Research has shown that the shorter your rest break, obviously you don't want to push it too much. If you push it too short, you're going to burn yourself out or something, reduce the amount of weight that you can push. As high of an intensity level as is sustainable. Use compound movements, sort of things like rows, presses, squats, stuff like that, stuff that uses larger muscle groups. That sort of tends to result in an increase in testosterone based on the research. So I pulled a workout from the internet, and it said I just followed what it was telling me to do, and it was saying like minimum 5 repetitions to result in muscle exhaustion or failure, but 6 to 8 is also good if you can push past 5. And the same workouts, I basically ended up with 3 sets being ideal for me. The workout I copied off the internet recommended 5 sets for deadlift and squats and 4 sets for presses and things like that. But that took me too much time, I started to focus more on legs. I was a bit of a serial leg day skipper for a couple of years. I tended to do upper body work in the gym, but I did run. I did actually do sort of functional exercise with my legs, but my legs were lagging somewhat behind in terms of strength. But apparently they're very large muscle groups, and it's a good way to build your testosterone. And also, for me, it was a way to make easy gains in a neglected area. More muscle equals more muscle to burn fat, so plus more testosterone. So it was all good. I wanted to have better form in my exercise. I wanted to stay injury-free, so I saw a personal trainer only twice, just to get me the tools that I could continue on with myself. So this is me in August 2022. Brace for it. Okay, I was up to 108 kilos or 238 pounds, although I did have above average muscle mass, I was working out, but not super regularly. I had restarted resistance exercise in 2018. I wasn't that disciplined about it. It wasn't done on a program, wasn't with a goal, and it was part-time at best. Maybe I might do it 1 month, and then maybe not so much the next month, sort of thing. So this was me. Up at 32.6. Obese class 1 or overweight or whatever. High level of body fat, highly overweight to obese, exercising moderately but not regularly, max run distance 7 or 8 kilometers with difficulty, maybe a touch more, but a lot of walking involved in that. Smoking cigarettes regularly, that won't apply to everyone here. Drinking socially, regularly. Taking some vitamins and minerals, but no herbs or supplemental protein. Protein, maybe just a little bit, but not that often. Nutrition I would describe as eating for pleasure, not for fuel. I was trying not to eat too much fat, but I had a high intake of sugar, and I was just sort of eating to excess, or just eating till I was full or even overfull, once or twice a week, not controlling calories, snacking, well after 8 p.m. sometimes. I'd order McDonald's delivery at like 11 p.m. or something like that. Might get delivered at midnight, something like that. A lot of snacking, chips and nachos. I had a stressful job. The stress peaked in mid-2022. I had to walk away. I had mild sleep apnea. It was under control at the time with the CPAP device. Basically, I was an undisciplined, overweight, stressed out piece of shit who was not that pleasant to be around. So David Goggins would refer to me as all jacked up. Me now, sorry about the small type. Weight down to 92 kilos, 203 pounds. I did actually get down to, I think it was 89.8, so just under 90 for a couple of months. I'm back up to 92 now. Maybe I'm going to push again for a bit more weight loss, but anyway. So exercising a lot. So normally 45 to 60 minutes resistance exercise in the morning. Probably closer to 60 minutes at least, to 60 to 75 these days. And 45 to 90 minutes of cardio in the evening or afternoon. Max run distance now 54 kilometers. So on most days I'm doing 2 to 2.5 hours of exercise a day. This won't really be suitable for everyone, with other commitments and stuff. That's just what I've done. Quit smoking in August, stopped drinking all alcohol in mid-November. I've had literally two beers in 2023, 2 cans. It's just something that happened. It's sort of my weight loss was sort of stalling a little bit, and I just thought, what can I do? How can I dig deeper and pull off something to really kickstart or keep that weight loss going? And that's what I just thought. Alcohol, I'm not accounting for these calories, so I stopped it. I'll feel great, feel fine, whatever. So it's not a quitting drinking ad or something. So almost 2 months, it's a bit longer now, taking cold showers. Now we're not talking freezing at all. They're like maybe 10 degrees, 14 or something centigrade. So I am taking a range of vitamins, minerals, proteins, and herbal supplements, using electrolyte preparations regularly for better hydration to minimize cramps, which used to wake me up in the night, and support nerve signals. I'm adding more salt to my meals. I'm even adding it to water. I'm adding salt to my breakfast, which is, when it's a sweet breakfast, and I'm putting it on steak or whatever, You do need it. So nutrition I would describe as eating for fuel and less so for pleasure. Obviously, you have to enjoy your food, but I was thinking the other day, I would gladly eat the same lunch every day for a week, no problems. If it was enjoyable on day one, it would be enjoyable on day 7, and as long as it's got what I need in it, you know. So my main goal is to consume enough high quality protein to support hypertrophy, which is muscle growth, minimize dietary sugar, refined carbs, and I'm still doing the intermittent fasting to increase human growth hormone, but also for weight control, less snacking, eating to a plan now. Huge stress reduction. I left the work that I was doing before the mid-2022. Had to accept a huge pay cut and go back to basics for a while. Yeah, that's not going to work for everyone. I wish I could have done it some other way. That's how it happened for me, though. You know, sleep apnea is still under control. I may snore less now that I've lost weight, but I'd have to get myself retested. It costs a lot of money, so I'm sticking with the CPAP for now. Not so much of an undisciplined, overweight, stressed out piece of shit. I've noticed perceptions changing about me from friends and family in a positive way. A woman showing more positive feedback. So this is actually me at 105 kilos, the picture, but I got up to 108, so it's representative of what it would have looked like. Slightly worse, I would have looked slightly worse than this. I was wearing a sleep study monitor because I had sleep apnea, just to see if the management that I was using at the time was working. And this is me after. This was back in May, I think. 92. I had to shave part of my chest because I was running so long distances. I had to tape it up a bit. And this is without a pump, just whatever. And this is me with a pump, you know, like after doing a bit of gym stuff. So I'm very, very surprised by my progress, how quick it's been, how far it's come in a year, less than a year. And very pleased, you know. Thanks so much for viewing my video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, I'd rather people, you know, found it helpful in some way. It not motivated, encouraged someone that they're on the right path or seeking the right path or put someone on the right path, you know. So I'd appreciate a like or subscribe. It would be great if you save it, share it, and put some comments in there. I always reply to any of the comments on my videos. Suggestions are welcome. If I get a good response, I'll do more videos, maybe something about supplementation or nutrition or just what I've discovered about, you know, running long distances or anything like that. Again, suggestions on videos are welcome. Hey, thanks a lot.